the increased melee range, the melee hero is going to be enough to be able to handle it.
What? Interesting. Okay, so young. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I thought it was just going to be the last pick as the off lane, but they want the safe here for young PH. How are we feeling in this game one draft here? Are we favoring Yangon Galacticos, or are we a fan of ZEROTWO's draft?
I like the Sand King. I like it a lot. You know, you're coming up against a couple of melee cores. You know they're always going to be in the middle of a team fight. Very easy to pick off. So I think it's going to be pretty dependent on the way that Afterrain's playing this. You know, he's going to get that first initial blink. They're going to try and take out the Queen of Pain, and then he just needs to get immediately out of the team fight, wait for his Blink Dagger or whatever other item he goes. Maybe he goes an Ag. Who knows, to come back up online, and then reinitiate with the Epicenter onto the melee heroes once they've baited out the fight from Yangon.
Feels like Yangon are pretty full on into their laning stage. It feels like if they have a rough lane, and then by a couple of thousand net worth after the lanes kind of split off, then I feel like they kind of missed what they wanted with this draft, and that's a bit of a worry. But I feel like you got an Ursa, you got a Monkey King. These are some of the best lane dominating. Even the Queen of Pain as well against the Storm matchup. It's not too fun for Xion in this matchup. So 0-2, I think this game, if Afterrain can have a somewhat decent timing and get a relatively okay blink, then that's really where they're able to make the plays. And Storm's damage as well through the early game can be pretty substantial just because of the magic. So I really think this is on, however, the laning stage for Yangon. They need to come out ahead with their draft.
Well, the move to give both of the wards over to the Earth Spirit is going to pay off for them immediately. They scouted out the fact that this Observer Ward was placed down by Polison. So even though he's got the boots of speed, you're not going to be able to outrun an Earth Spirit with Rolling Boulder. Nice, easy amount of experience. Probably just going to let the Queen of Pain buy the Sentry. You make up the difference immediately.
Yeah, we constantly see this battle around the mid observers, don't we? It's like, I'm surprised that the Ogre even tried to get there, considering you're going up against the Earth Spirit.
Yeah,
it's more than likely, and so often we've seen teams, you know, drop that ward and then get the deny and even just de-ward their own ward,
or at least do it. Oh, is he going to be able to spot out? Okay, so they think that there's not a ward there. But we shall see. I mean, I think it's totally viable to make the attempt to put a ward down on this Ogre, but you got to do it behind these 3 trees to the left of the Dire tower, because you've still got the fog of war. It is still nighttime, so you're able to you know, abuse that vision differential that we've got now in this patch. I really like the fact that it's nighttime before the 0-minute mark now. It means it's a lot more aggressive, a lot more action happens, a lot more level 1 ganks, and it's just exciting.
And I think that's what was kind of lacking at the level 1. You know, we never have this level 1 Roshan potential, which I mean, it was a very rare, but there's always excitement when at least that opportunity comes through and some early rotations in the early game. So at least now it can, you know, change up the playstyle, and instead of just going for like a lot of the time it was just 3 in the off lane, secure the double bounty, then the position 5 would TP up. Now, you know, we see some of these rotations actually coming through a lot earlier with like 4-man smokes, 5-man smokes even.
Especially the Filipino stacks. They love a 5-man engagement. Same thing with 496. Those Vietnamese love to brawl.
Interesting choice for Afterrain to go with the Caustic Finale level 1. It feels like even though it's super strong versus the melee matchup, I mean, Ursa's just zoning him away from the creep, so he can't actually right-click them. So it doesn't feel like Afterrain's getting the full usage out of that, and I wonder if it would have been better if he went Sandstorm and then In Your Dream had a Sentry as well.
Look at this, he's been forced to body block up here on In Your Dream. He's doing a good job for it. But imagine if that Ursa had an Orb of Venom instead. Like, that is a dead Sand King. Maybe just seeing that first and, you know, then skilling up the point into it. But I think Sandstorm level 1 isn't really that viable either, to be perfectly honest. I think the first point in Burrow Strike is the way to go. A, for the kill potential. Yes, that doesn't really happen with the rotations that they had, but also just you can stun when Ursa is going for a range creep, for example. Make sure you can block off his farm a little bit while securing your own.
At least we see how the dominance is coming through though from young PH in the lane. Arthur actually goes aggressively in with the bar strike, so he's going to be careful now. And in your dreams, the backup once again, and the Rubik does have all the abilities, so actually wanting to man fight the Ursa, but without the extra help of Sand King, it's just kind of the harassment battle and who is able to win the supplements game.
Yeah, for sure. Oh well, they're making an attempt here on Chuan in the mid lane. It's a heavy commitment, and they will end up picking up the first blood on Horde there. I don't think In Your Dreams TP was fast enough to actually get the return XP either, so big win coming from Yangon, and now they might look to perhaps get a little bit more aggressive against this this Sand King as well.
You see how trains
away from there.
Down to the southern side, it looks like, from Lon. Just out of range on a little bit of the sandstorm there, but meanwhile, top, Zarain might be in trouble here. He's got some Jingu, and now with the Boundless, going to get a nice amount of life still back, but Dreamer Cell and Polisan is still going to be able to move in forward, so exactly similar with down bot, where Yangon were able to pressure the Sand King. 0-2 can mirror that, recognizing that the position 4 from either team left the lane, so we see both threes end up falling.
Nicely done to be able to abuse that by Yangon. I think they're happy. You know, the fact that they gave up the Monkey King and the Earth Spirit underneath the tower, it's not really a big deal because it enabled everything else to happen on the map. I think you're much more scared about the brawling potential of this Ursa early on versus a PA. PA, you absolutely need 2 items. You know, ideally 3, but you can brawl with 2. Ursa, it just feels like even with the Battle Fury, you could just immediately start making things happen.
What do you think the item build is going to be here for Zarain as a position 3 Monkey King?
Let me think.
Yeah, I'm just like intrigued on how he wants to kind of play with the playstyle, because you've more than likely will see this active monkey come through and just allow the Ursa to, you know, you have this Battle Fury try and find the farm and monkey jumping around playing with the Queen of Pain, but I'm intrigued on how he wants to itemize.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's up to does he want / need a transitioning item to come through from there. So maybe he can be like a lot of these other position 3s that like going into the Falcon Blade, as they're making another attempt onto Afterrain here.
Sean's also dead mid as well. Horde utilizing that haste and just bullying the Storm. And that's also right by the bounty, so the Cop's going to be able to steal that one on the high ground. Level 6 now, so Storm coming back into this lane has to be really scared, especially with Skill A being in the area.
But yeah, I think Monkey, you can see he's already gone the Orb of Corrosion, very nice for the laning stage. Phase Boots, you know, pretty standard if you're wanting to fight all the time. You know, it's not a power tread sort of game where you're just going to be farming up. That's definitely the area that's being given over to the Ursa. And then, yeah, I think maybe Falcon Blade into the Ags could be the way to go. Even just an early BKB might be nice against these multiple stuns.
Apollo is in trouble up top. Skill lane Zarain just catching out the Ogre Magi when he was outside of the lane here, unfortunately. I would like to see Skill lane drop a Observe Ward deep in the jungle, because you know the Storm's going to want to try and fall back and occupy the safe side of the map, and you don't really want to lane into the Queen of Pain now with 2 points in Dagger and the Sonic Wave available, and yeah, already In Your Dream making some stacks. So I hope the next ward from Yangon is going to enable this so they can just hunt, because the Queen of Pain is also someone who can be pretty mobile and join in with some vision there. So I think really limiting the farm that Storm can get from the jungle is going to enable Yangon here.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the fact that the Rubik's being forced to go back to get these stacks to try and, you know, secure some farm for either the PA or the Sand King, if he keeps having a horrible time on this bottom side, means that, you know, there's been 2 sentry wards that have even been attempted to be dewarded down here. So it just feels like Afterrain's been a bit of a sacrifice. They finally do get rid of 1. So hopefully for his sake he doesn't extend too far, thinking that he's completely in the clear. Mid lane though, Hor, he hasn't used his Sonic Wave just yet, and he's got the double damage, so I think they're keen to try and make something happen still.
I love the rotation from Radiant. They're well aware that Hor is incredibly strong right now compared to the Storm, and they have the Catapult Wave as well, along with the DD, so they bring both the supports, shove the lane in. Well recognized there from 0-2. Just Poloson coming over, and they don't even need the help In Your Dream, who's still trying to help Afterrain secure bot. So some nice mid-max coming out, but it does leave Dreamer Cell solo.
Top lane, got a TP coming through. Just able to dodge out the false promise there from the Oracle.
Now
trying to stop his TP.
Polo's here. They just want to try and find the Earth Spirit instead of the Monkey King. Flies the route as well from the Oracle. Well, it looks like Zarain, he'll be able to make it away. So they get the Earth Spirit, and once again, Dreamer Seller, they actually find it here with the crit coming out. Zarain's in trouble. He's just going to have to try and turn a man fight. Finds the Jingu stacks with the Fire Blast and the attack speed reduction, thanks to the Fate Bolt, I should say, attack damage reduction. And well, Dreamer Seller, he's on a killing spree so far. This top lane for the Monkey hasn't been as impactful as what they were hoping. At least they get a return kill though. Hawk and Skill Lake coming back from the grave.
And I'm sure someone was looking at the mana pools on the Dire Heroes because they had no way to try and contest against that. You know, it was such a long fight. Monkey King, very survivable, so you drain a lot of those mana resources away from the Dire team. And now they're even attempting a kill here onto Dreamer Cell. They're going to go in, pop the Sonic Wave, probably. Yep, secure the kill, get immediately out.
It's a great kill. You see how aggressive Hall was blinking there just to enable the Earth Spirit to find the vision. If Earth Spirit goes, more than likely he's going to miss that roll. But if you got the jump in from the Queen of Pain, they were well aware that he backed off and was going to use the dagger to find that CS. And meanwhile, mid as well, Qian with the help of Apollo is going to dive Lun. So Apollo will get the kill, unfortunately, for the Storm Spirit, but at least they're able to hit back and give Storm a little bit of catch up here.
Yeah. No way to save, unfortunately. All the TPs have been used to put the pressure onto the top side, so good realization there by Qian. I wonder if this cop, like, he's going the Orchid. I wonder if this is even one of those games where he might go into an early-ish Axe Shard, just because it is quite nice at dealing with the Storm Spirit and the PA and the Sand King. You know, heroes that rely a little bit on their mobility to get in and out of skirmishes.
Yep.
No Sonic Wave this time, though, as they're making the rotation up top, and Dreamer Cell, his spidey senses are tingling. He's getting out of dodge.
Looks like down bot, though. Unfortunately, Polo will pay the price. Run into the Ursa. He's doing an immense amount of damage. Both position ones are farming very nice. I mean, seeing Young PH 301, 60 last hits is a decent chunk ahead of the Phantom Assassin, but still got to keep in mind that the lane for Dreamer Cell, yeah, it was not the greatest on paper versus the Monkey King. So I think ZEROTWO have to be pretty impressed, at least with Dreamer Cell's farm. But this is where Yangon can continue putting a lot of pressure on the map, recognizing that Dire are going to need a little bit more time, so they need to get these early objectives.
Couldn't have asked for a much better neutral item there with the Possessed Mask on the PA, so he's just going to be able to stay in the jungle for a lot of this time. He's never really going to contribute all that much to a team fight. You know, maybe some cleanup like he's attempting here with the Stifling Dagger to slow him down inside the Sandstorm, but still pretty early to try and make any sort of commitment with that Blink Strike.
This fight down bot, slowing down here is actually just want to try and jump the Oracle instead, and now they can continue chasing Young PH, especially with the rotation coming through from the Rubik, that extra support. But after it's in trouble, you just see, man, this nuke potential for the Ursa. If it gets on top of you, he's already level 9, so the Furious Wipes is maxed out, and now even the Quap wants to jump on forward as well. Polo, the protection of the fused raindrop, such a value item against the Queen of Pain. You can get so much out of it. Definitely an item you don't see as much, I think, as what it should be picked up in a lot of the ranked games here. And it's just the mana regen, how much it costs. The Monkey King.
Very nicely done by Dreamer Cell there. He's going to try and posture himself a little bit aggressively. You got the Storm Spirit to clean it up.
A lot of magic damage coming through from Qian here. This is that early game Storm with the max out Remnant. The Overloads are high level as well. We do see another kill across the map. They also scout up the Ancient stack from YG, so this is pretty important if they can wrap through there and take that as well after the T1 tower bot that they're grouping up with the Catapult Wave.
Yeah. You got one of the best heroes to be able to do so in the Ursa. He senses that Afterrain's just sitting off into the trees here, though, so he's going to force out a defensive Burrow Strike. And, well, that should maybe be a tier 1 tower. You've got the Ogre thinking, no, not on my watch, though. He's just going to try and Bloodlust up the tower for a little bit of that extra defense. And here comes Storm.
Storm's going to be careful, because if he does overcommit here, just one root and a silence from the Earth Spirit, and Young PH would definitely be able to kill him through the duration. Dire don't really have any way to counter after rain. It's only 2 points in the Burrow Strike, so the cast range is pretty lackluster. You don't have the defensive support like Radiant do in the Oracle.
has to immediately get out. They're still going to end up losing this tier 1 tower. And, well, I think it's nearly to the point, as he goes down again, Zorain, a little bit surprising there, that I feel like After Rain might need to take this Ancient Stack himself, as opposed to leaving the potential for the Ursa to finish up his Battle Fury. He's only 400 gold away, and then take it for himself, because PA does not have as good of a timing.
Mid lane, skill A. Rolling aggressively under the tower. In Your Dream's in trouble here. He even still has the blink though. Nicely done. Is the scream going to be enough for the magnetize? Looks like he's alright. He's got that Purifying Flames heal as well to help out.
Yeah. Very nicely done.
Play.
Thank you, Lun.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
How close are we? 225 gold for this Ursa. Able to clean it up. Not with this creep wave, but just the next one. Maybe he's even just going to go into the Dire Triangle, clean up the hard camp, and then use that to go towards the Ancients.
It's going to be a very good timing with the Battle Fury. It's got Treads, Windlace, Magic Wand, Wraith Band as well. So Young PH incredibly fun. You see the counterpart position 1 here from ZEROTWO. Dreamer Cell just needing the perseverance until he's able to pick up that Battle Fury. So he's going to be a little bit behind, but at least the nice thing for him is that he does have Polo Sun to be able to enable him as the game goes on once Polo gets a couple more levels in the Bloodlust.
And it is a blade that Zorain's going for, but it is the Witch Blade instead of the Falcon Blade that I was thinking he might go as a bit of that transitioning item. You know, he's died 4 times now, so having the Chainmail is going to be a little bit effective to be able to sustain all of that. With him making a play onto the After Rain, he's getting chased up somewhat. Doesn't have any other escape potential. I think the Boundless Strike was used there to interrupt Storm's TP, so he's not going to be able to join this fight, and if he does, it'd be at a big cost of mana. He's just trying to be a pain right now. That's his job.
Well, that is the one thing that kind of Yangon do lack, like some wave shoving potential. So you see he's kind of keeping that top lane constantly shoved in. I mean, the Aura Spirit, once you get levels, it's going to be, at least it gets a little bit easier. Oracle is never the greatest. It's pretty much just the Queen of Pain at the moment, and until Ursa gets a Battle Fury. But even then, like Ursa Battle Fury, like you're not shoving lanes as aggressively as what a monkey can do.
I mean, these lines being drawn on the map, I am red-green colorblind, so correct me if I'm wrong, but they're coming from the Dire side. It looks like they might be looking to try and...
Wait, are you colorblind?
Yeah, red-green colorblind.
What?
Not completely, it's not all grey, but, you know, shades get mixed. In Your Dream, perfect positioning there to be able to break the smoke, so...
Oh, John. The Orchid's going to get revealed here as well. Storm needs a little bit of help, but he's just going to get brought down to start the fight, but now with the counter initiation, instantly finding the Oracle. It's a great prioritization from ZEROTWO. They even get the Queen of Pain as well, but the Blink's still on cooldown. So they get a little bit of revenge defending the Triangle camp, but they're not done because they know Zorain's stuck up. Dreamer Cell, he actually even joins him on the high ground. Phantom Strike going to be back up and available, and they've got the stun from Polo Sun. So just the overcommitment. Zorain, unfortunately, hasn't been able to get a foothold in this game with the Monkey King, and that's also where you would see the Phantom Assassin joining that team fight and, you know, coming out pretty strong there. And now Dreamer Cell is getting closer and closer. He's 6-1-2 so far for the PA. Oh god.
Yeah, he's been able to just get at the very end of these team fights, you know, have that impact, and I felt like he was much more required to take part of that because it was his Ancient Stack that was at risk. So that gets taken away. I don't want to say you don't have a game, but it becomes so much harder for you. Works out well for ZEROTWO though. I'm a little surprised Ursa didn't turn up to that one, to be perfectly honest. I feel like if you're able to take that away with the extra strength that and burst potential that an Ursa provides, you're easily able to take down that Ancient Stack. I mean, the Queen of Pain basically did half of the damage towards the Ancients just with the Sonic Wave.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The nice thing about the Ursa getting picked up in this last pick from Yangon is that it does also give them some opportunity to be able to take Roshan. They didn't have the greatest lineup beforehand with the Monkey and the Queen of Pain, but now at least already being on Radiant, you're kind of further enabled by the positioning on how you play on the map, and now you've got a strong hero who can always have this threat about walking and Roshan just taking it. So we could see YG if they, you know, in the next couple of minutes, if they get a nice pick off or 2 and feel pretty strong with the BKB on Young PH, then they can definitely force it.
Yeah, and you've even got the Orb of Corrosion to help out as well. So just that little bit of extra damage that might be needed to be able to take it out.
Radiant's
Dreamer's
bottom
Cell,
tower
he's
is under attack.
did pretty good with his farming patterns, dodging a lot of the aggression that's coming through. Some of that is because of the Observer Ward that was just dewarded by Lon there.
Radiant's
So
top tower
again,
is under
from him,
attack.
good presence of mind from where he saw PA react to how they were moving. They know they had some kind of vision.
Radiant
They're making a play onto In Your Dream here. Doesn't have the Blink Dagger anymore, but that is a long range.
Jump in, Radiant. Want to try and turn up with the roll in, skill A. Finding Polo, probably not the target he wants, but now Orchid Boundless, unfortunately, after rain, he's in trouble here. They don't have this protection coming through from the rest of the heroes. ZEROTWO not wanting to jump in, Sand King a lot of their initiation first, and without kind of the BKB on Dreamer's Cell, without the BKB on Qian, you do see if they overcommit, then they definitely will pay a price.
Trying to poke around a little bit here is young PH as well. Just put the Fear of God into him, and well, he's getting a lot closer to that BKB, so might look to... I think that's the game plan. You know, you keep mentioning Roche. That's all it is for them. You know, take this Ancient stack, hopefully finish up your tier 2 items, as well, he gets a couple of really nice ones for his team. Finish up that BKB, go for a pick-off, take Roche.
Will Dire be able to contest Roche? I guess it feels like Radiant probably won't walk in unless they get a pick off though, so...
Yeah.
Even then, at least the Blink Ep is going to be a big factor if After Rain can get the positioning. It feels like the initiation is kind of reliant on him at the moment, and we see in the early game it is very difficult for the Storm still to be able to find the Oracle. You know, until that ball lightning gets maxed out, the speed just makes it that much faster, and also the mana pool not being at a high rate as compared to the late game just does limit how far you can jump away and how easy it is to catch them. They're just going to walk in, so it looks like the BKB was just the one thing they're waiting for, not even needing a pick off.
Okay. A little surprised that ZEROTWO are just letting that happen. You know, there were lines being drawn on the map saying basically we need to be playing in this area to prevent this exact thing from happening, and immediate smoke afterwards. So they're looking...
I love this line drawn as well. This is so smart. You know that the enemy team's going to be playing around bot. They also showed, and the trigger to kind of stop them from taking Roche is to shove in bot. So they're going to go triangle. If no one's there, then wrap bot, because that's the next kind of line of retreat from bot through the triangle camp.
Sure, but you used a bunch of abilities in the mid lane that they were like, all it takes is one person to be looking in the mid lane and see the creeps fall down to something invisible. You know,
you can't do that. It's just it's a minor thing. You smoked up like that, and good players are going to be making sure that they're looking, and yeah, it's so annoying when that happens.
Turns out the surprise factor needs surprise for it to actually work.
What have we here?
Okay, he's getting closer to his own BKB, starting to build into it. So yeah, this brawling style of build, just for me, it doesn't provide the same level of initiation.
Monkey is gonna get melted down with the magic damage. You see Qian also might be able to find the Earth Spirit as well. He's got to be careful, but the Orchid actually got used on an illusion, and they're going to be careful because two supports, I mean, they've already got the numbers advantage here. They're even going to be able to try and bring down the Oracle before he gets the ultimate off just in the nick of time. But Lon, use the ultimate on yourself makes you pretty much useless for the rest of the team fight. And now young PH is in trouble here. Yes, you still got the Aegis. Yes, you got the BKB, but the deal with the first life, and now After Rain's going to charge up the Epi with the Borrow Strike as well. Oh, nice Orchid. Qian still, however, in your dream, stole the false promise. So Qian, he survives for a little bit longer here, and now young PH is trying to run himself away. They still do end up losing the Storm, but underneath the tower they go. So scurries away, but that is not the fight they were looking for. I mean, we just have not felt the impact of the Monkey King. They burst him down, and they find a second target, and all of a sudden 0-2. They just have the numbers advantage, and then Radiant didn't have the stuns for the Ursa just to not get kited there. And well, that's a fight that 0-2 were begging for, and they're happy now.
Yeah, I mean, I think with 0-2's lineup, you've got so many ways to actually start a fight. You know, you've got, now that you've got the Blink Dagger available on the Sand King, of course. That's basically a guaranteed stun. It's very different to the Queen of Pain. You know, if you blink stun forward, that's actually a stun. It's not just like a blink silence. You can still react. You can still move slightly further towards your team. All things of that nature. And, you know, as well as if you've got BKBs, if you start to build those up, excuse me, you've got that, that escape potential. Same sort of thing with the Storm Spirit, you know, that provides so much more. Whereas Monkey King, you could Boundless, but it's not that long of a stun. You should be able to get away from that. It just feels like they're lacking a little bit of team fight ways to begin the team fight if skill A isn't actually there.
And now they even got a blink on In Your Dream, so that's even going to get somewhat easier to have some opportunity to be able to start.
He was great in that team fight, by the way. You know, he ended up stealing the tree dance, was able to get up, give vision, get the telekinesis off onto the Queen of Pain, who had blinked forward really aggressively, and it baited that kind of reaction through from the Ursa, making him give up the Aegis as well as a bunch of kills.
Well, all of a sudden, I mean, 0-2 with the net worth lead, and the items are starting to get picked up, and you see the kind of what's getting actively more difficult now for the Ursa and the Monkey King is there's going to be a Glimmer Cape on the Ogre. They've got the Yules on Sand King now. In Your Dream already has a Yules as well. So the kiting factors and also just multiple ways to be able to purge off the Orchid is really going to make these fights very difficult for Yangon to be able to play around with.
And you mentioned the kiting as well. Because of how much of a threat that this PA is to Lun's life, he's been forced to max out the Fate's Edict. So he wants the maximum cast range just to be able to try and stay on the back lines as much as possible and then deal with the rest of the team. I don't mind that. Okay, well, I do mind that. What they're doing in mid lane, just immediately clearing out the wave, they've just given away their position again. You know, you could kick a boulder forward, that's fine, because you're still, like, in the fog of war while that's happening.
In Your Dream? Oh. Oh, Skilly's under the T2 tower. Looks like still rotation's coming through. He's got the Yules as well. They're going to wrap and cut from the western side, but after rain, Yules stepped it up. Zarrain's going to try and drop the ult. Meanwhile, Rubik still does fall. Now with the Orchid after rain, he's in trouble. It's actually in the back. They're trying to bring down the Oracle, but Storm won't be successful with the initial jump. And now Young PH, however, the BKB getting kited. He's stuck in the tree line as well. Rating, can they continue on forward? Dreamcell pops the BKB. They need the vision for the Ursa inside the trees. He gets a TP out, but it looks like the rest of Yangon, they committed a little bit too far. Hawk tries his turns, got the BKB. He needs to blink away, but he doesn't do it fast enough as Dreamcell with the jump in, finds a triple. Yangon Galacticos going too deep there, and 0-2 will punish them.
Yeah, it could have been even worse for Yangon, to be honest. The Sand King just went right into the middle of the team fight, wasn't able to use his TP scroll to get behind the tower. They were in a prime spot for even just a regular stun. Didn't even need to commit the blink for that. Ends up going down, takes away a lot of their team fight control, but again, In Your Dream, he is playing a very nice game. He's constantly in position, those quick reactions to be able to get the blink away after breaking the smoke, but to be fair, it's a little bit on easy mode considering that's twice now that they've revealed their positioning.
Oh, poor old Ogre. I don't know what he's kind of doing there, but...
He was really close to the Glimmer Cape. He just wanted that tiny bit of extra farm.
Stupendous!
God damn it, all he wanted, just that one item. He's like, let me get it, please. I can't farm on my side. I've got a Storm and PA, and my Sand King need to catch up. His bottom net worth, the life of the position 5. He's got Glimendo. At least now he's like, well, one item. Time to get my next item in the 25 minutes after.
There's a little bit of save potential. What's next, Midas?
Surely. Scale, brother, come on. You're an ogre.
And In Your Dream, he's feeling himself. He's gone full greed. Yap Sword Dota with the Philosopher's Stone. He's going into the Ag Scepter next, and looks like they're gonna push out this next wave and then perhaps go for a smoke. In Your Dream just moved it through into his inventory. Here we go. The triple stun squad coming through.
Nice positioning from the Ursa mid lane. They're going to jump those Zarrain. Storm doesn't get the initial zip damage. He hasn't used too much mana though. PA's still wrapping all the way on the back here. Going to try and, if he can bring down Lun, that's going to be a great start. But Dreamcell is very far away from the rest of the team. But down with the power strike, they just burst through the Oracle. The Monkey King's in trouble as well. With that Observe Ward freshly placed from 0-2, the vision enabling the pickoffs there. And Dreamcell is beyond godlike. This Phantom Assassin been so dominant in his first game.
Yeah, doing real well. Even now, just constantly posturing himself to start to pressure into even an Ursa. I think that's the Basher that he's got coming out to him now. Yeah, so he's finished that one up too. So we've seen before, Hor was perhaps a little bit slow to try and blink away from team fights, but now he might not even get the option.
Man, Dreamcell is being so aggressive right now. Just one lucky bash on on Horn.
Radiant's
That
middle
bind
tower
might
is
be
under
it.
attack.
It does have to be careful though. Did they just get vision with that Radiant Reserve Ward? They're gonna try and jump, however the Ogre just gets melted by the Ursa, but it looks like still now PA away from the team. They're coming over, but Storm's a far distance away too. Man, he does not care right now. With the streak that he has, you kind of got to be worried. And actually, who do they jump? Monkey King. Oh, the tree's going to get broken down by the back. Quick telekinesis now after him with the counter initiation. They're going to melt down too. Tian gets lucky with the help from the Sand King. Beautiful placement there from after rain. They want more blood as well. Lun is going to get caught out. They even find the Queen of Pain as well. They just want to turn their attention to Quap instead. They know that's a much more important target. But a quick BKB keeps the life of Hor, but the damage has been done. ZEROTWO find 3 kills, going to try and transition this into a tier 2 tower now.
And you can tell they don't even want to leave the Radiant side of the map. He's already purchased up the Abyssal Blade recipe. It's going out to the Radiant secret shop. So he's just going to park himself right in the middle of this triangle and not care too much about anything.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Mindbreaker. What do we even choose? I mean, I guess
What's
you
he got
give that
right
over
now?
to the Storm Spirit? Some good early initiation. It means you don't have to fully commit the Orchid.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
It does force out the BKB on the Ursa if you are able to catch him out.
He's got the quickening charm on the Storm right now though.
It's okay. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's not quite as useful as some of the other items you can get.
Have they got all 3? No, still looking for 1. Radiant, unfortunately. Well, at least you get the orbital structure on the Ursa. That's not too bad of an item for him. He's also building for the
Radiant's top
MKB
tower
next
is
tier.
under attack.
But the game, it's felt like a lot of the impact and the damage has been coming through the Ursa, but your position 3 is not really having as much impact as you were hoping. The Queen of Pain is doing relatively well in the net worth, so it feels like right now the 1 and the 2 having a very high importance here from Yangon.
And PA's got Abyss.
Well, right now, Storm just jumps the Oracle. If Storm can't find him, if PA does instead, then like we're gonna see Yangon. They'll lose 2 heroes instantly. Ursa has that factor as well, though. I will definitely add that if if Ursa gets a jump on like in your dream or even Ogre, even Storm for that matter. Like Storm doesn't have you got BKB, but even then, it's not really going to be as defensive against the
Radiant's
Ursa.
top tower has fallen.
I mean, Dreamvessel might just choose to play a bit of bait-style Dota. I know he's very, very strong right now. He's still got an 8-second BKB,
Radiant's
but
top tower
you
is
can
under
technically
attack.
just sit behind your Rubik, for example, the Ogre, maybe just dangle them a little bit forward and assume that that's going to pick them up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Jian,
Another BKB.
instant
falls.
BKB. Yeah, what's that down to now? 7 seconds. Yeah.
Now they
You see that? This is such a quick movement. In your dream with the stolen tree dance, he finds our range. Dreamer Cell's in range as well. Gets the first hit bash. Now he's also got the Abyssal Blade to follow up if need be, but he's just holding it. Doesn't need to put it on cooldown. Well aware that's going to be an easy pick off. And well, Roshan back out of the grave as well. The second one from ZEROTWO should be easy enough for them to claim.
In your dream, he really wanted that medium camp as well. He is only 70 gold away. Scrap that with the courier going down. He's got enough to buy his Scepter.
It feels like when Dire just have so many easy ways to initiate fights, and then you take a look at Yangon, it's really just on the Earth Spirit. It feels like, yes, Quap can kind of blink in with an Orchid, but well, you got BKB on two of your cores. Sand King's got a yours. Sand King's even got a BKB. Rubik's got a yours as well. They're also going to actually catch up. The Ogre here from Hor drops a Sonic Wave, which is enough. Can they continue following up? They've got the vision. Horde's BKB is just able to come back off cooldown here, so he should be okay unless the chain lockdown from In Your Dream's perfect, and it is. Aghanim just picked up from In Your Dream. They need the sentry jump. Look at him go! This is exactly what I was talking about in the draft. Give him a high caliber position 4 and he'll make the plays. He does get punished though, Young PH jumping on forward, getting a couple bashes, but meanwhile their base, Jian, he just wants to cancel some TPs here. Meanwhile, I mean, top lane, Dreamer Cell is just going to work.
He's got his level 25 as well, so
Jian's going to be...
a little dangerous. He's playing on the edge. Yeah, In Your Dream, just make the plays like we've been saying before. There's only so much you can do against 3 different forms of initiation.
They do need to kind of start moving to the Phantom Assassin though.
Radiant's top barracks are under
They're
attack.
about to respawn. He's actually just going to jump with the Oracle. Scrap that. Dreamercell doesn't care. If he knows he can burst down one of the heroes, you've got at least using the factor
Radiant's top
of
barracks are under
Radiant's
attack.
advantage here in the numbers. And now they're coming back over with all the lanes getting shoved in. He just got a
Barracks.
free full set of racks. Jesus, Dreamercell is a man on a mission in this game one.
Even now with the Axe Shard on Dreamercell.
Oh, nicely done. They knew where he was. Gian just predicting where the Monkey King was. He's going to get brought down throughout the stun duration. Before he even does, PA jumps to the side. Triple buybacks coming through. But the initiation, they can't punish Dire when the buybacks come out, so they can get reset. He's got 26. So far ahead right now. How do you burst him down even the second time?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you don't really care if he gets burst down once. You still got 3 minutes left on that. The Aegis. He's just spinning around in circle. He's 360 no scope in this melee rack.
Radiant's middle barracks has
Dreamercell. He's feeling himself this game. Look at the BM. Oh my god. Like, what do you do though? You just gotta let it happen.
Honestly, that
rough.
Axe Shard, it lets you actually fight against the Ursa if you're able to disable his Fury swipes by applying that breakthrough to him. We've got a smoke. This is a last-ditch effort right now. Immediately gets popped. Dreamercell, he's still in the blur.
Dreamercell, the triple dagger, the roll in his wall. It doesn't matter. They just get melted. Nice Sonic Wave. Dreamercell actually pays the price to lose the Aegis, but Young PH already popped the BKB in the range, so they're going to try and disengage. Unfortunately, with the roll in skill late, too far away from the base, so the rest of the team make it out, but they don't have buybacks. And well, the damage was there at the start, but just the positioning, Dreamercell. Man, this triple dagger with the Abyssal Blade. Whew.
Can't discount the stun either, coming through from after rain. That was perfect. I think it was a 4-man stun.
Been very impressed with the Sand King's performance. Had a bit of a rough landing stage, but that's to be expected. You're against an Ursa. It's never going to be fun at all. And however, his comeback and how impactful he has been, and well, it's mega creeps, and honestly I think this one's over. In your dream, just rolling on through.
He's doing the same thing as Dreamercell. He's 360ing while he's in the ball.
They might have one more fight. We have seen Yangon come back from Megas, but
with a PA.
Yeah, it's a bit different this game.
Just a nice
see what
solo
they can
smoke
do.
from your dream. Why not?
He's one making plays. Here we go. Let's see if they can burst him down. They're going to try, but now with the counter initiation once again from after the rain. Dreamercell's in trouble. He's actually got to blink on forward to find the Monkey King. And now Young PH just doesn't have the control at the moment. With the BKB expiring, they can kite him through the fight. Another rolling once again, but the Sand King, this constant burst strike onto multi-heroes just makes it so difficult for Yangon to get any right-click damage off. As 0-2 take game one here. Looking very strong. This momentum starting to continue to build here for 0-2.
Looking real strong. I mean, where is this 0-2 that we didn't quite see during the group stage and the lead up, sorry, the qualifying?
Somewhere by the Emerald Sea, where the moon and water meet, somewhere close to harmony, when the world is sound asleep. Something's gonna bring the change, journeys we are meant to take, something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. watching seasons change. Our roads were lined with adventure, mountains in the way couldn't keep us from the sea. Here we stand open arms. This is home where we are, ever strong in the world that we made. I still hear you in the breeze, see your shadows in the trees.
power, infinite, infinite power, infinite, infinite power, 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 infinite, infinite, infinite power, infinite, infinite power, infinite, infinite power, 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 infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power. Infinite power, infinite, infinite power, infinite, infinite power, 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 power. Infinite power. Infinite
you. You're gonna break my heart. You're gonna tear it apart. No matter what you do, I'll still be there for you.
The battle begins.
Might be who got it after and got the bounty up top. Quicker fingers, but we will say before we get this game really underway, we're going to be doing the draw of the weekly raffle here after this series is complete. So whether 0-2 are able to take it, or if we go to a game 3 afterwards. So to keep in mind, guys, to get those channel points up, predicting, following the stream, just chilling out, watching some Southeast Asian Dota. So yeah, just stick around after if you guys are joining the raffle. It is just one per week, one entry per week. So don't worry about trying to join 2 times. Keep those channel points stayed up for the remaining weeks, and even cheering on Radiant or cheering on Dire as well.
And give us ideas for community challenges as well. You know, you were really quick to fund the cat jam enabling. You were quick to want to see me eat ice cream. So I'm keen to do more stuff.
I said Denok had to do 10 shoeies. He wasn't too happy with that idea.
I don't have the beers. That's the only downside.
All right, we'll get that around. If all at once do them just back to back to back. Fortunately, might be wrecking a couple of shoes, but.
How about this? While we're paused, if we get to the you and I get to go to the Singapore Major as talent, we will do shoes.
I think it's a must. Any Aussie talent gets it.
You know.
Yeah, you just have to respect the tradition, the nationality where you come from. I mean, Slacks did it when he came over. You honestly, it's just you gotta respect him as well.
His shirt was a mess by the end. He was just getting more and more rough as the day went along.
That was a good day. That was funny. That's funny stuff. How is this matchup going to fare mid though with the Conquer the Void Spirit? Is Void Spirit going to be okay just because of the Resonant Pulse, or is Qian still that Tidebringer going to be a nuisance for Hor?
I think he's going to be okay, but again, you don't really have the strongest ganking supports. Like Undying straight up cannot do it. Rubik, sure, if you're on point, but you're up against a strength hero, so I don't think he's going to be putting more than 1 point into the Aether Remnant. It's just going to be about spamming out these lanes as quickly as possible to make sure you get your last hits, even if it's just drawing even against the Kunkka. I think you're pretty happy with that.
Some good old pulling shenanigans. Still can't believe this is a thing, but yeah, well, it's nice little way for Indie Dream to be able to get some CS, some experience is the big thing, and also denying it away for the Ricky. Lun's doing a good job though. You know, he doesn't really need to be helping out the Ricky, so he's just making sure Indie Dream's not getting all this for free and trying to at least have some extra creeps coming out.
I like it. He has to be careful with this courier though. It does get delivered through to him. Indie Dream is making a beeline for it, considering he's got those boots of speed. Should be able to secure it actually.
Yeah, as long as he gets out of range of the Undying for that orb slow, as he tries to run it back into him, just so maybe In Your Dream takes a little bit of extra damage, but hey, you get the choreo. So nice little bounty gold. Take that.
You've done your job. You know that the timings that Yangon are going for are a little bit more aggressive than yours. So I think that play that that Lon made that In Your Dream made was really good, making sure to deny that full wave of experience away.
I'm intrigued. What do you think about Dreamer still going Orb of Venom first? Because I felt like Radiant couldn't really play as aggressively as I thought they were able to in this lane. So does he just have a different read where he thinks him and Polo can get pretty active, or?
Honestly, good question. I think you just want to be as survivable as possible in lane. I don't think you're going to find many opportunities to actually catch people out. You know, sure, it applies the Stifling Dagger. It does apply the Orb of Venom, so maybe that's going to assist Paulson with being able to catch out these wars, but that's all I can really think about.
Interesting.
And now, well, I said before, level 3 on the Beastmaster and the Rubik, that's going to be the point where you're feeling a little bit concerned for Polo. Yeah, here we go. Just 4 out of range once. Nice deny by Zorain to make sure that you're not getting that golden experience over to your side. But still, I think he's been doing a pretty good job. Like, if you have a look at the net worth, yes, it's only 3.5 minutes in, but he's sitting right at the top on that PA.
Yeah. I mean, you saw Dreamers have a pretty good time last game in the laning phase. He was very impressed, and he's already got the Orb of Corrosion completed, but Polo's just getting chased down, man. That extra point in the ball now can be so devastating. Even skill leads level 3, so Dreamers does have to be careful. They actually want to chuck down Poloson instead.
War's dead.
Poisons are starting to stack up.
Even nearly lucked out and got the Hawk that was just sitting right in front of him with those poison stacks. Nearly ticks down.
When with the heavy emphasis of putting pressure on right by that 4-minute mark, it made it so the Shadow Demon could not help out and try and secure the rune here for Conquer. I mean, Chigan doesn't have a bottle, but it's still taking away the Arcane rune for Hor.
You just want to be able to spam out these abilities. Yeah, he is maxing that Dissimulate again. It's just putting a lot of pressure onto the Kunkka. Yes, you're going to have the inherent tankiness from the 2 braces with the extra HP regen and the strength. You can see now he's forced to TP back to base, grabs his bottle. He's going to be right back to the lane. As well, those bounty runes going to start to become a factor. Or he's not quite yet level 6, so he might be a little bit too slow to get to this this rune. I think Polo's going to deem it worthwhile to deny it out from him.
Dire are scattered.
Let's get the banishment, yeah, so it should be easy. Might get caught out though, because he's now used that pretty aggressively, and with skill late coming over, they've even got the boar as well. But they just want to give that up, it looks like. Horde doesn't want to miss too many creeps here.
Oh, nice juke in here by Polo, using the nighttime to be able to get away. I don't think he needed to use the disruption.
Oh, surely he doesn't get this choreo. No way. Oh, he's actually a player.
Oh, Polo Dota.
Has he got the damage? Oh my god.
Give him the chat wheel.
He's so good. That's when you... people just... I feel like sometimes the chat wheels aren't used at the right timing sometimes, and it makes me a little bit sad.
Yeah. That was a little bit more rough. You know, perhaps being a little greedy, Dreamer Cell takes some harass, but he's there. He TPs through, allows Dreamer Cell to blink strike back to him, refuels him up with a salve, and he's going to be just fine.
See, Dire did actually glyph up the creep wave here. I'm not sure if they wanted to try and, if it was for bottom, just so they could try and fully shove this in with the catapult wave, or if it was for another lane, but...
I think it was like for shoving it in, but also just to enable a little bit of a dive onto Dreamer Cell.
Yep.
They just wanted the creeps to be tanking out a lot of that damage. But now you've got that level 3 on Polo, so it's going to be a lot easier for those Shadow Poisons to stack up and deal some pretty good damage to the Beastmaster units. Still though, as expected, even with this semi-way to counter it, there's some net worth advantage starting to show itself. This Beastmaster versus the PA.
And all eyes now on the mid lane heroes here. Hor has got that ultimate available, starting to make the rotation down bot, but even Xian now with the TP effect, he's got the haste, and Zarain's in trouble. Let's see if the Void Spirit's going to be able to get there in time to maybe turn this Beastmaster. Tinker through a little bit of it, but First Blood's going to get picked up, and now Skill Lay is falling incredibly low as well. Hor's going to try and at least get a return kill on top of the Phantom Assassin, even trying to chase down Polo Sun as well. It's got the Dissimulate up in a couple of seconds. It is level 4 too, so it's going to be an immense amount of damage, but the rotations from the position 2s works out in the favor here of Radiant.
Nicely done. Just a little bit too slow. I think as well, the Void Spirit, he ran underneath the outpost vision. So they knew he was coming. They knew to react accordingly. And if they were to make something happen, it had to be straight then and there. So they still had the numbers advantage. Even just the Kunkka trying to feed through a bottle charge to the PA as that kill was attempted. So Dreamer Cell actually nearly got away from that as well. After rain.
Thinking about it
aggressively. Yeah, here we go. Here, Dream wants to go for the stun follow-up. Will that be enough?
Counter? Oh, wow. After, and he's so good on the Pangolier. This man knows the limits, could perfectly roll through. Saw that lucky shot proc as well, so he couldn't deny the Tombstone. And now Lon, another lucky shot proc as well. The minus armor helping out even with that Orb of Corrosion. Finally get the rotation, but After Rain is still enabled to dive there. Man, he is...
His luck is on point, but a lot of that is also, you know, some skill. Shows that hitting that level 6 so important against the Riki. You've got that fade delay just to be able to dodge out, perhaps be a little bit more elusive. You can see here, Dreamer Cell is over a level ahead of this Riki. So despite the fact that, as I was saying, the Riki can come online sooner than the PA, but not going to be the case this time around. After Rain has to be careful though.
Fills me with
Radiant's top tower
might be in
is
trouble.
under attack.
Getting chased down, Hor. Nice placement on the Remnant there, but still the positioning in your Dream. The supports from ZEROTWO having an incredible early game. Polo and the Nyx Assassin having some impact here, and we actually even see the nice little dig up with the bounty there. So nice when you got a bottle, but might go back in once again. It's Hor.
Another play. After Rain's a little low
Guess
here,
it's
but
correct,
he's rolling
Rui.
thunder.
Might be able to play around with the cliff as well with the bounce back. The issue is that the Void Spirit is still very mobile. They dropped the ward just so they can find the Rubik in the tree line. Now with the extra rotation, just in case Hor tries to commit aggressively here after Rain, forces the Simulate, but a nice two-man torrent. Xian has got the boat flying in as well. Now Hor's in trouble. If he jukes up to the northern side with the ultimate, there's going to be a TP ready and waiting. Actually wants to go aggressively on top of the Nyx Assassin. Looks like he's well and truly sure that he's dead. Just wants to make sure he potentially gets a kill before he falls, and
Not the case though, and just ends up feeding the kill through to Dreamer Cell. So ZEROTWO's like, all right, we'll take it.
Radiant's bottom tower is
10-minute mark as well. These bounties starting to show themselves. Xian gets the, he even gets the torrent onto the Riki, forces the tricks of the trade. They're playing pretty damn well today, ZEROTWO. This is night and day compared to, as we transition from night to day, to the first few series that we saw from them.
Now, as we hit that 10-minute mark and starting to get out of the laning stage here, who do we feel like has the better late game heading into this one?
I mean, you're always going to favor a PA heading into the late game, right? And Kunkka, you've got that scalability with the Tiebringer because of the cleave damage. You've got the scalability with the Soul Catcher because it's, you know, based off of percentage for current health. Beastmaster, yes, you always do have that split push potential, and the BKB piercing stun is nice, but it's the early game that you want to make stuff happen. And if you're going to die, your Dream is attempting to make happen to them, it's going to be a lot harder.
Sets up for Xian. Drop with the Tombstone though. They do also have the Rubik coming over, but he's a little bit too far away with the reinforcements. They'll deal with the Tombstone and they'll turn their attention down with Beastmaster. Polo Sun's also level 6 as well, so pops out the Purge, but even Riki wants to get involved, so Dire now bringing the numbers. Solid. And even still in the boat as well from Skill 8. Doesn't find the connection, but at least they get the run buff now to be able to utilize for this long drawn out engagement. But one more team fight's going to break out here as After Rain now with the Rolling Thunder moves in, bounces back from the Crystal. Young PH dragged back. I mean, he's still got the tricks to trade and the blink. Skill Lane needs to get in range here. Maybe he can go towards the western side, but the swashbuckle from After Rain finds a triple haul. So he wants to get a little bit of revenge here. Astral Step gonna have to be used defensively to dip out.
Man, after Rain, he is playing out of his mind. 5-1-1, creating a ton of space, giving more kills over to the rest of his team, and getting the kills himself when it counts. And even then, like you saw, they were able to steal the boat from that fight. Didn't hit onto anyone, but like you mentioned, the rum does come up. And by seeing that, puts the extra point into the shield craft. You just want 1 point in the shield crash so that you're not able to turn around with it in the middle of that team fight. So again, great presence of mind for After Rain. He is playing an amazing game.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this is definitely one of his strongest heroes, and we've constantly seen that so far throughout ZEROTWO's games through the LoL division. And it did get respect banned in that game 1. It was kind of towards the later stage of the draft though, but at least still showing that Yangon were recognizing this. But ZEROTWO, they're like, all right, you know, we've first picked it multiple times, we've gone in with it in the opening phase, why not do it again? And man, he's showing why this is a hero you have to be worried about when he picks it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This is some aggressive Dota, that's for sure. They're positioning themselves around the tier 1 tower, YANGON GALACTICOS, and realize the fact that, look, we've got this Beastmaster, no Necrobook just yet, but we'll have the gold for the Necrobook 1 and 5 gold.
Oh, is that yours timing? No, Xion should be fine there. They actually want to counter up. Rolling Thunder's coming through. Does it get stolen? Looks like it doesn't. There's that shield crash paying off here for After Rain. Just utilizing the full ultimate now to be able to burst down the Rubik. The boat not going to connect, but once again, they're going to be able to utilize the run buff. After Rain's in trouble because the rest of the team trying to deal with the Tombstone, but he still has his swashbuckle to disengage. Now look at the mobility coming out. Almost escapes. Lon's going to get dragged back, but it looks like Dire still feel pretty content with being able to push on for more, and they've got the vision, so in your dreams, got to be careful about hiding in the tree line.
Wasn't able to pop the Demonic Purge, which I thought was a little surprising there from Polo, but forces the buyback out of the Rubik. Yeah, you got to kill at the cost of a couple on your side, but PA, he was able to take the top tier 1 tower. He's continuing to farm away. You're fine with this level of space that you've been able to make, because I believe that that's the Battle Fury finished up now, if my maths is right.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There we go. Very nice time with the Battle Fury. What do they got stack-wise? So double at the hard, double at the ancients, looking like about it here for Dreamer. So I do like at least Yangon constantly trying to scout this one out with the Hawk, but it's a bit too late as Dreamer Cells are already taking it.
Of course, like most of the time you would think, well, Orb of Corrosion on a couple of heroes, isn't that kind of a waste? But both of them just make such great use out of it that you don't mind all that much. And in a team fight with the Orb of Corrosion plus a Desolator, which you would think is the next thing that PA is going to go for, you're probably going to pop someone without the Pango doing any initial burst damage.
Dire is smoking up, but they're going to be careful. Radiant, they're going to mirror this as well, but Polo's on the front line, gets the banishment off, but he's way too far from the rest of the team. After Rain still moving on forward. Roller's going to hold him in place, so not getting the full usage out of this Rolling Thunder from After Rain, but it doesn't matter as Radiant, they bring down the Rubik. Beastmaster's well controlled thanks to the boat. Continue on, Xion also freshly picked up that Orchid, but looks like they just don't have the numbers now. After Rain up on the high ground, but he's still going to continue to get chased as Hall has his number throughout that fight. Lun won't have a stun to cancel that TP there, so see a bit of a wonky one as the Pango falls. The Rubik also drops as well.
It's still creating so much space though with this Pango, right? Like Polo out of position, he forces the buyback out, which is a little unfortunate. That could just sometimes happen if you move your cam away for half a second. Meant that they were able to get that initial burst damage onto him before the disruption.
Lun? Man, he's a big boy trying to drop a ward deep inside the territory of Radiant, but unfortunately the positioning there from ZEROTWO, just the perfect timing, honestly. Inside that tree line, they also are able to de-ward it.
But you see the difference there with actually smoke coming through from YANGON Galacticos and they're not revealing it by just like shoving a Fave Bolt into the middle of the lane when they've got complete vision around the area. Or perhaps he is eventually far enough away from the Sentry Ward that he's going to be able to walk on away. And he's going into that that Accept. So I think once he picks that up, the way that YANGON are going to play is going to change slightly. They're going to be going for a few more of these smoke plays, but they're actually going to try for the full wraparound. They're not just going to walk up onto the stairs like they were attempting that time.
Man, in your dream. Wisconsin Knicks threat of just scouting out, and I like now that they've got the blink completed on the Pangolier. They were kind of, we saw what Pango was able to do through fights to be able to start. Now it's going to get enabled even more with this blink dagger, considering they were kind of lacking some extra weight. As the game goes on, it's just going to get that much more easier. Like Dream itself, if he's got a bash, then you can get a lucky bash from a dagger. You've always got the Knicks to scout out if it's not in a choke point to find a setup, and not Conquer as well. They are going to get to a stage here where 0-2 will have double BKBs on their cores and might limit a little bit of the damage that the Void Spirit and the Rubik can kind of dish out.
The thing I love about, well, after Rain's Pango, but just Pango in general, is that he's one of those heroes that can do so much with very little, you know? Just having a Javelin, just having an Orb of Corrosion, you can fulfill so many roles, shoving out waves, kill potential, you know, helping to slow people down for the rest of your team in combination with the Lucky Shot. And now that he's got the Blink Dagger, he's just adding more and more strings to his bow. You can see he's just gone for that full team fight right now. The Yule Scepter's being built up next. But once that's done, I want to see him go probably like a roll-up, and if it does get that late, I want to see a Basher come out from him into an Abyssal Blade. Just enables that scalability.
Well, he's going to be careful here. R3 might reveal the blink. Hasn't been able to find the proper opening just yet. And now Xian, maybe he's pushed up a bit too far. He's going to drop the bow more defensively. Polo has the banishment as well, but they stole the bow. Your Scepter actually cancels out the effect. Now R3 wants to try and counter initiate, but they're all going to hold him in place instantly, and Xian's in trouble. They use the banishment, but to no success here. So now after Rain, he's going to have to disengage as well, but Horse still continuing to chase him down. In your dream, nice positioning, gives him some space. Yangon Galacticos, they've got the vision advantage to be able to continue hunting with the Pangolier. Maybe he gets a swashbuckle away, but they're able to burst him down. Skill A finds a double there for Yangon.
I'm liking that from Lon as well. Just no hesitation with popping his Flesh Golem. Wanting to get that. It's still like, did you see how long that Kunkka lived? And that was for most of the time just due to himself. There was a disruption, sure, but it didn't actually result in him living too much. I think that was, you know, once he'd already used all of his defensive capabilities, that's when that started to come into the equation. But Flesh Golem, extra damage, always going to be helpful, and they've found out Polo.
This is just the vision advantage we're starting to see. It can really snowball out of control when you've got a Beastmaster like that, just going from one to another. Ricky will be able to get to a stage where he can pick off some of the supports unless they get some positioning items. Well, now they've got the Aegis. It's a perfect movement from Yangon, taking that team fight, walking in Roche, getting the Aegis onto the Ricky, and a pick off to it. And now Ricky, he's already got two components almost completed here. He's got enough gold at least for the second.
For me, this is a farming Aegis. You need to be able to just easily secure your Aghanim Scepter, and then if you've got, you know, if you're lucky by playing a little bit more aggressive with your farming, if you're able to take a team fight, like just one single team fight all in, once you've got that secondary life available, that's a huge win. Even just his positioning right now. Just sitting inside the Radiant Tricamp area, making sure that he's able to take that away from them. Meanwhile, though, Chuani's just like, alright, you want to take my ancients? Do the same.
How close to double BKB are they? So it looks like PH just completed Deso. So they do have a bit of a window with this Aegis, knowing that without a BKB on the Phantom Assassin, you can't heavily commit in team fights, and you've got to be always aware of this. And even once it gets picked up, I mean, at least you have the Raw. The only issue is that Beastmaster, like, who do you want to roll this game? You've got so many options, like the Rolling Thunder from the Pango, and then the Magic Immunity from the PA, even once Conquer gets it picked up as well.
They're just keeping these lanes pushed in so that it's incredibly obvious whenever they're trying to make any kind of backstep happen.
I want them to fight here. You got a ward in the Tombstone on the high ground, but they're not grouped up as 5 right now. The Void Spirit's not there, so the Undying just gets melted. But young PH wants to counter up with the perfect timing with the Meteor Hammer. In Your Dreams going to be able to scurry away. And I stole an Impale from Skill Lake, holds Xian in place, but the Conquer's incredibly tanky. Meanwhile, to the northeast side, though, Dreamer Soul and After Rain assassinates the Beastmasters, who won't be able to get involved in the fight, but still Xian so getting kited on the high ground. That Tombstone, such a nuisance, and that's why I wanted Yangon to group up like that. They just didn't have the Void Spirit to start, and they weren't all around that choke point. You saw if they were there, that fight could have gone much more differently. Yeah,
I think they still got you know, a relatively okay trade out of that, being able to take down the Conquer one more time. Now the Ricky's got his Ag Scepter, so and how long is left on the Aegis? 2.5 minutes. You're more than happy with that. Does that mean, you know, the Kunkka still doesn't have
Radiant's
BKB?
top tower
Same thing
is
with the
under
PA.
attack.
And honestly, with the Riki, once you've got those items, you don't care all that much. It just means that as soon as it's scouted out by Yangon, Void Spirit needs to change his target priority. He needs to be going in onto the backlines even more so than before. You're just not going to have that same burst potential for the PA, the Kunkka.
Man, it's so stupid Rubik against Nyx. The 8th lens, he's even got a keen optic. Once you get that 15 talent, the extra cast range, like this Impale is just nuts. And especially, you've got a nice setup with the telekinesis. So, man, I love when I see, you already highlighted that if skill 8 doesn't get the Earth Spirit, a lot of time they pick up the Rubik instantly. And it's just into a Nyx. It's one of the best abilities to steal.
Cell maybe? Big rotations.
Zorain. Yeah, he's in trouble. He doesn't have the BKB, and In Your Dream needs to kind of run away so he can get the Phantom Strike to disengage, but the double silence from Hall, and In Your Dream might be able to get the TP out, and he will be successful, but
gives him a whip.
That's a massive pickoff. It does leave the Undying Solo once again around the high ground, so it looks like finally ZEROTWO will be able to get that ward and the Tombstone. They got to do it faster, because Dire are coming. And it's just Polo hitting it, guys. You gotta hit it, because Young PH is like, all right, free food. Hello there, Shadow Demon. Bye-bye. And now Qian as well is in trouble. Walking it up now with the after rain counter initiation. They've even got In Your Dream into the area, but they stole the Rubik's Cube movement on forward. So the quick movement from Yangon punishing them from trying to find that ward on the high ground.
This is what I like. I love them playing around their timing so aggressively, realizing, look, BKB is not going to be a factor, and for once, a small mistake made by the Pango, not immediately using the shield crash. Go. 30 seconds left on that Aegis timer as well. What have we got on the Riki? He's got a Chrysalis finished up as well. Don't think it'll be delivered to him before this fight, though. I mean, it'll just be an item slot freed up. So I think he might just be going all in onto taking this tower. He's like, look, give me your creep, Beast Master, but beyond that, I don't want you to commit. If I die, I die. And there we go. It's about to expire in a couple of seconds. They got what they want. Straight back to farming the camps. And, nice little heal as well.
Why do you think that Radiant have been playing around this top side of the map instead of bottom? Because usually see that tier 2 bot is mainly the first tier 2 tower to fall if you're playing on Dire. Is it they just want to try and control the triangle and take the Ancients away from the Phantom Assassin?
I think there's that. You know, there's also you're in such a riskier position if you're forced to farm on the Dire side of the map, right? You don't have the teleportation to be able to assist you if they do end up ganking you, like what happened before. No.
Sure.
And on the bottom side of the map, like, worst case is you get a tier 2 top. Like, a tier 2 is a tier 2 at the end of the day. So now they're going to, if they want to, be able to take that outpost away, as Lon is doing. And, I mean, you're not really caring all that much about Roche, but the fact that you've been able to take it away means that for the next Roshan, it's one less tower that you have to be able to TP towards.
Precious bounty.
Undying is sick of being focused. He's going for the blade mail on the Undying.
He's trying to juke throughout the tree line, unfortunately, Nick Assassin. Well, at least he's making him work for it, but he'll end up falling. I guess another thing as well is that, like, if you hold that top side, it's a lot easier because of the stairs running up straight away, like it's in a very tight-knit choke point section, and Yangon, if they get dropped there with the Tombstone, then Radiant fighting into that could be a lot more awkward instead of down bot.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And that was an incredible Aegis though from Yangon. You see, it's enabled them to grow a 4,000 net worth lead. We see Ricky's top of the net worth as well. What's going on mid? Skill A? It's Rubik's Cube. So funny.
Easy TP. Always going to be the case pre-Abyssal Blade that you can just, use that to TP away.
I love this smoke. They know the Rubik more than likely TP'd back to base.
Yeah. Very good.
But Dire, look at the positioning. Drop the ward, put the Tombstone on the high ground as well. Instant on the backline. Polo gets melted. That's a perfect target to be able to bring down. And then with the BKB control, Phantom Assassin's already wasted a good duration of the magic immunity, but the drag back Ricky, he's going to end up falling as well. So even though Phantom Assassin gets controlled, they're still able to find the Ricky there. That's a great fight from ZEROTWO.
Yeah, and there's the kill streak as well. Like you mentioned, perfect decision to make it. When Rubik has to get completely away from the fight, you've been playing at a disadvantage all this time. You've got to take your chances and play the 5v4.
Man, Ricky just got melted.
Yeah.
What's he got? He's got blink now completed. Okay, we're seeing the blink a lot on the Ricky. It's really nice with this trick. So I've been very, very impressed with the item build when he goes for it.
You're just so elusive, and you know, you're not really caring all that much about building a blink dagger for a BKB for yourself, considering what you're up against. It's basically just the Nyx assassin that you're having to worry about with a BKB. Useless against the Conquer, essentially. Useless against the PA. Pretty useless against the Shadow Demon, considering the Demonic Purge pierces the spell immunity.
Dio hanging around mid at the moment. At least they got this T1 tower. Nice TP rotation for a potential fight around Roshan, but it looks like Core. I'm just trying to jump in there. They know that Roche is up, but also In Your Dream scouting out, so both teams well aware of this. Next fight's going to break out around the vicinity, but who can drop the vision? That's the important question. I mean, at least Zarain's always got this Hawk factor too.
Okay, so they might actually be forced to go into the BKBs a bit sooner than they might like on Yangon's side, because Conker's got an Orchid. So being able to use that to lock down one of these targets, you have no defensive dispels, no Lotus Orb picked up just yet. I think I saw a Lincoln's being attempted by the Void Spirit. Yeah, it was. So he's already got the Ultimate Orb component for it, but maybe he might switch that up to a Lotus.
Nyx. I'm trying to bring him down to start the fight. They will be successful after rain. Rolling Thunder just a little bit too late here. And now with the Tombstone dropped, going to make it very difficult for Radiant to continue chasing them in. So posturing around their high ground. They've got a nice ward in the area. Apollo jumping in forward. But now with the counter initiative from Hall once again on top of the backline. But however, they got the Orchid out. Now it's got to be careful. They're going to counter up as well. Ricky finds Dreamer Cell protected with the tricks of the trade. Dreamer Cell has to pop the BKB going off to the western side. So shutting him. He's in trouble with drag back. Thanks the X. Dreamer Cell close the distance. So they at least find the Void Spirit there. A couple of buybacks coming through. The Undying will rejoin this. So will the Nyx Assassin from In Your Dream. But Roshan's still the hotly contested one here.
I think they're in a similar situation right now, ZEROTWO. They know that the Void Spirit's dead. Yes, you had to use a good amount of ultimates to be able to make that team fight happen, but I feel like Roshan is the way to go for them. You know, Shadow Demon's going to be alive in 5 seconds. You'll have the Demonic Purge back up in 20 seconds. Same thing with the boat. Same thing with the Rolling Thunder. You've got about a 20-second window to either get a pick off or make a contest around this Roche pit. The fact that they're not means that it might just be given away to Yangon's side. Like, Dreamer Cell is farming down the bot side. Sure, he's got a TP, but I don't know about this.
There's no Void Spirit right now, and you don't really want to buy back on him. They also dropped the Tombstone, so bit of a commitment there from Dire.
I don't think they're aware of the Tombstone being used, though, on ZEROTWO's side. Maybe if they walk on in, they'll appreciate it.
I see it now. Yeah.
So I'll be feeling a lot more confident about that.
Radiant are scanning.
He's got the extra movement speed now on In Your Dream with the Aghanim Shard picked up.
Such a stupid shard.
Look at him zooming.
572, what the hell? We see the Phantom Assassin as well has almost got this Abyssal Blade completed. Also level 23, so the highest in the game right now. We saw what Dreamer Cell could do last game once you get that 25 with the triple Stifling Dagger. So many crits, so many bashes. Could be a big issue here for Yangon if he opts to go down that route and can get lucky with some RNG. We've got a little bit of a break in action, and with the game 2 looking like this, I mean, it's pretty much dead even net worth wise, so this is going to be an exciting late game to come out here in the second game.
It always is when you've got, you know, the team of luck in the PA and the Pango with his lucky shot coming up against, I don't want to say it's not luck, I mean, they've got a Chrysalis on the Ricky, but much more of a, let's say, a traditional style of lineup that Yangon have. But I like the way that both teams have been playing it. There haven't been too many glaring mistakes from both sides. Much more measured than game 1, it feels. Like this,
yeah.
It felt a little clowny, to be perfectly honest, game number 1. This one, though, it's some solid Dota.
And that's all we want. We just want to see some solid Dota for some Southeast Asia games. They're always entertaining to watch. And you get games like this going the distance where it's pretty even. Means it's going to be massive skirmishes heading in where the all-important ones can just increase the hype factor. And well, guess what? We got a Void Spirit now with the Lincolns as well, so Horde's going to be able to play a lot more aggressive, at least limits the you know, Phantom Assassin Abyssal Blade control eventually. A couple other minor ways to deal with the Void Spirit through these fights.
There's this Roshan though, that's the pot of gold right in his little pit there that both teams want. This time around, it won't be a farming Aegis that they use. It'll be used to start pushing high ground if they can, and they're going for a bit of a wrap around here on Yangon's side, trying to catch the backlines like I was mentioning before, but Xian
Radiant on here.
Front.
They're going to be so careful. Nice jump from Paul. Finds a Shadow Demon, so they don't have the banishment to be able to protect the Conquer, so he has to pop the BKB defensively here just to keep his first life on the initiation, being able to buy back. They're wrapping through as well. They haven't been able to find any more heroes here from Yangon, so they've got to be careful with the Meteor Hammer as well, controlling up both. Dreamer Cell sucking the Trick's Raid. He's able to get the Blink Wave, but still the Tombstone. The zombies starting to stack up. You got to be careful how long this fight starts to break up in the career. Dreamer Cell, oh my god, the RNG's in favor, but they're back in once again. The buyback Ricky Beastmaster wants to rejoin them, but 0-2 you need to disengage. You can't go back up the high ground, but Dreamer Cell, he says screw that. He wants to go up and fight them here. Dreamer Cell's got to be careful though. Phantom Strike, where can you jump to? The Tombstone still laying down, but they see the DD. Looks like Dire time to back up. That buyback on Ricky, you have to play for the objectives now. You need Roshan.
He's given the bottle over to young PH. He wants him to pick it up. Now that, plus the enchanted quiver that you have, it is so much damage that you're able to deal out in quick succession, and you know that you're not going to have this Shadow Demon for it either. He just bought back.
Oh, they need to turn the aggro from Roche. Radiant are coming over, but they don't have the ultimates. That's the big issue. Xian's going to scout it. Su's got the BKB on the Conquer. Rolling Thunder's back up as well from the Pango.
They're in.
Support's going to be up in 20 seconds, but they are delaying this. Young PH, the DD, about a third duration left as well. Man, they need to get this on Dire.
Options. Yeah.
Maybe, do they have a smoke? Oh.
It's going to be too late now regardless. You've got everyone back up. Here come the big ultimates again.
Here we go with the counter. Boat flies through. Ricky's going to be careful because now inside the roof they're going to chain link him down. Young PH at the dieback. No, Dreamer Cell off to the side as well. Finds Beastmaster at both these heroes with no buyback. 0-2 taking a credible fight around the Roche pit. Yangon just give them an opportunity for their abilities to come back off cooldown. A big mistake there is going to have to force them to give up this second Roshan.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. It just feels like what they did was enable the strategy. Skill A coming in.
All right, let's see. What can the Rubik do with the Rubik's Cube?
He's
trying to shove it.
Oh, the bash!
No! Roshan, the extra 6-man on the team from 0-2 is going to punish him here. Roche is falling low, but the Impale and the perfect timing with the cleave as well. Dreamer Cell finds them both, the Ages along with the Cheese, and now Lon on the high ground. Critted down, man. 0-2, their team fight. Too strong around the Roche pit, and Hor gotta try and back off. Gotta be careful because they're still hunting. Maybe Dreamer Cell gets a bash or something, but that is just Yangon, the decision making almost. Maybe this is the inexperience showing from the young squad. But it gives 0-2 now a big opportunity.
I said there weren't too many questionable plays coming through. That was one of them. You know, I just don't understand the logic of you're going up against this team, which one of their big strengths is, yes, they've got ultimates with, you know, decent cooldowns, but they're much lower cooldowns than a lot of your others. Like only 70 seconds on the Rolling Thunder, 60 seconds on the boat. I felt like they just had to take their chance now.
Oh, perfect timing. Oh my god. 0-2. These past couple of minutes, 8 missing nothing here. Polly with a setup, Xian with the follow-up.
Do they just
Dire
drone this?
I mean, they can push incredibly fast. Dreamer Cell 25 as well. They still have some tier 2 towers. The issue is that top and bot aren't pushed in.
They'll be happy enough to pick up the bounties, I suppose. But yeah, 0-2 have been very good at playing their advantage whenever it's happened to them. You know, 5v4 smokes, immediately realizing when, you know, you've got a numbers advantage, but that time Yangon just that 10-15 seconds of hesitation when you've got a double damage on your Ricky, it's a little questionable.
Yeah. Well, Horde's still down for another 35.
I think they were only lacking their Beastmaster, right? I think that team fight was very different if they just had the Call of the Wild Hawk for the high ground vision, but
bounty.
lacking a bit for them, and well, they paid the price. I mean, this was looking dead even for the first 32 or so minutes of the game, even though Dota Plus was still favoring ZEROTWO a little bit more. But with that take, with that dieback, it is now a 97% win probability.
Nice, put Dreamercell in the front. Lotus Orb protection. Polo ready to counter up with any initiation. You've always got the saving factor, and I mean, Dia can't get too close because then you got Dreamercell. He's just gonna jump you instantly. Skill lay X'd up. I mean, he just might get bursted here if Dreamercell really wants to. At least they're all alive from Yangon, but the buyback is the big thing they're lacking. They'll be able to get the melee, transition that into the range as well. So full set of racks. Still a tier 2 up top. Dreamercell actually jumping him forward. Can they punish him though? Lotus Orb.
He's got so much survivability though. He's even going into the Rapier next. Why not, right? I don't think he'll have it picked up by the next 2 minutes though, so... Do you want to go that all in, is the question? The only ones with buyback right now, I suppose, on Yangon's side are the supports.
I mean, Radiant can still stay around the area where they got the high ground ward. Like, you got to be so careful running out. What do we got with the neutral items? Strix's Cloak. First of many to be picked up here. And this now, Dia, I mean, you see young PH is trying to get out the base to get a couple. He's even got the Rapier queued up as well for the Ricky.
Alright, Nyx has his first Dagon delivered through.
Oh god.
I want to see him pick up like just a Windlace or something, right? Because the Ag Shard gives the percentage movement speed as opposed to flat, so it's even more effective. And I suppose he's fast enough. 580, that'll have to do.
Not often you say 580 will have to do. You want more speed.
Dude, I play like CM and Venomancer and these sorts of heroes. I know what no speed means.
That's a rough time when you're just moving around the map at like 320 constantly. What the hell do I do? I just can't get anywhere. Team, like, help me. Push me almost.
Oh, that's real nice though. The telescope being picked up by Polo.
Shutted him in instantly.
Yeah. I'd probably give the relic over to the Nyx, right? Like, you've had enough time with that Philosopher's Stone. I think, you know, it's time to have something for the team fight. Good initial burst to be able to clear out most of that creep wave. Tower will take out the rest. Although he's trying to put his body up there, Chuan, just to make sure the last...
Lung's got to be so careful. Yeah, they can just jump him. He doesn't have too much armor at the moment. At least the Remnant's protecting the Undying. Can he get anything off? He's got a buyback. A nice start here from ZEROTWO, and you see Dreamercell can instantly just pop back defensively.
They just
gauges. Ticked out. Oh, Ricky.
Cheese in his inventory.
Gonna try and deal with the support. In and out he goes. See the constant mobility. Zareen as well with the counter up. They're trying to find the Shadow Team, but where's the extra damage coming through right now with the Beast Mother? It's not there. Hall tries to follow up. The Remnant, can he get the banishment off the nick of time? But meanwhile, Dreamercell's just going to work. 2 down from YANGON Galacticos. Where's the Ricky? He's gonna get caught off to the western side here. They find him underneath that Observe Ward, and now without a buyback, YANGON Galacticos inside the base as Dreamercell finds a triple. It's all up to Hall. At least he gets the Shadow Demon, but a perfect spike purpose. He runs into the Remnant. In your dreams, Nyx Assassin. Oh.
And the offensive PG as well. Oh, Apollo. He was pretty happy with how they were able to turn around that game, and unfortunately for them, the Rapier isn't going to be able to be delivered before the throne pops, but they're perfectly fine with a comfortable 2-0 victory. ZEROTWO with a 2-0.
Finally starting to live up to the name of ZEROTWO.